Get the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Get the money, honey. Hey, 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 hey. Round of applause, round of applause. This is Christina L. Turner, Kingmaker. Welcome to Business Talk. I have a big surprise and I'm so excited.
No.
My brother, my friend, my current sometimes, my big bro, my heartbeat, Nolen Davis. This man, I'm going to give a little intro because I told him he really deserves this intro. He has started Distinguished Gentleman, Upstart Network. He is a father of three, two boys and a girl. He is a man of integrity. He is an innovator, smart, intelligent, and ladies, he is handsome. I'm not going to say if he's available because that's for him to say that. Uh, I'm not going to say that, but I love him with all the love I could give. He has covered this girl here in so many ways. Nolen, thank you for coming. I love you so much. Welcome. And so I'm going to give it over to you so you can talk about yourself just a little bit. We are going to be talking about manifestation, how it has worked in your life, also how some of the things that requires when you're manifesting. So I'm going to just hand it over to you, Nolen.
Hey, well, first and foremost, I love you back, right? Thank you for having me on the show. And so I was had a TV show called The Perfect Gentleman, and it was all about helping guys become the best versions of themselves. Um, I feel like I have a purpose statement. I exist to serve by creating opportunities for people to reveal their greatness and to inspire others through my example. So I'm not one of those dudes that, you know, look at people and say what they should have done, this, that, and the third. I'm more of a guy who tries to lead from the front and say, let me show you what I've done and let me help you as much as I can, right? Um, Up Social Network is the only networking group in business that has broken a Guinness World Record. And so I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most TV interviews in 24 hours. And I interviewed all of our network, which was 173 people at the time. And we got 34,000 views. So I'm the owner of Biz Inc., which is a video production company, owner of Step Up Radio, and we're launching a lot of things through Step Up Radio this year, 2024. And I'm just happy to be here. And I'm probably, hold on, before we go further, we're going to be talking about manifestation. We're going to be talking about things that may be something that you can walk away with, people in your brain, figure out if you want to use it or not. I always say that, you know, try the ingredients of life to make your own recipe of success, right? Because your recipe and my recipe is different. Your palate and my palate is different, right? Your God-given talents and my God-given. So everybody's recipe for success is different. So anything that we talk about today is literally just food for thought of how much of that do you want in your, do you want a dash or 2 cups of it? Doesn't matter, right? But it's something that you should try and see if you want to use that for your palate. And I want to end it with, even though that I'm going to give you or what we're going to talk about, you may walk away with some ideal or some thought process. I am definitely the silliest grown man on this side of the Mississippi, so I may say anything. So if for those that are watching, if you got duct tape at home, tape your socks to your legs because it's gonna knock your socks off. Christina, go. And I'm
You know what? Thank you for correcting me. I be getting names all messed up. You can tell that that is age.
right, right. I wasn't gonna say that. I was. You see how I put it out there, like, so it is the perfect gentleman, right? And it is up
And I
social
said
network.
it's distinguished, but it's a perfect gentleman. And literally, I have literally seen you operate as such. Your life have reflected. You don't get too many people that that's within your circle that their lives reflect what it is that they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. So in the public, you're the same. In private, you're the same. And so I that's why I called you a man of integrity. Very few that I know, and I hold them very dear and close to my heart, men of integrity. So when we talk about manifestation, you talk about either you want to take, a sip or full Monty cup or the whole picture of all the conversation that we're going to have today. Let's talk about when we talk about manifestation, what does that look like? And even though we all have our own destiny, our own divine destiny, right? That we are all here on this planet to fulfill a purpose.
Yes.
When it comes to manifestation in your life, even from past up until just present for the future, what does that look like for what did that look like for you, and how did you put that into play?
So for me, it was a little bit different because of my background. So my father was a NLP practitioner, which is neuro linguistic programming, right? And it was to simplify that. It was when you hear athletes say, I visualized me catching the winning football or making the winning shot, right? And I visualized it over and over. You literally activate your neuro-linguistic programming, and when you see it, you think about it, you believe it, the affirmations, all of that goes together, right? Speaking it into existence. And so it was very simple to me from that standpoint, to where the most attractive thing to me would be, and still to this day, and I've actually done it a little bit, but not on the magnitude that I want to do it, is that I come up with an idea and I see someone that has on my apparel or knows who I am or walking around with my book in their hand, and they don't even know it's me, right? So to see it from a standpoint of the idea came to my head and I manifested the idea, and someone else gravitated to it, someone else benefited from it, someone else found what one of those elements or ingredients to help their recipe of success. And I think that's how it is. A lot of times, so manifestation for me is different than manifest. Most people are like abundance and this, that, and the third, and I want to have this. That's great. I'm not knocking that. But for me, it's more of an ideal that I come up with, or an idea that comes to my brain, and now it's in the palms of someone's hands, that it's solving a problem. It's helping them to a certain degree. It's and that's what everything I come up with from Perfect Gentlemwn was, to solve a problem, right? Men don't really communicate to each other. We usually just bask in the areas of where we're great and never come outside of our comfort zone, so we don't learn anything else. And we say, this is what we're great at. So how do we mesh all of those ideas and make a Justice League, so to speak, of a Justice League of different superheroes in different aspects of life, and learn from each one of those people, right? And so it was that's kind of what manifestation is for me.
So so you said something that was very interesting, that the neurotransmitters in our cerebral, in our brain, when you do the visualizations, the affirmations, the visualization of literally seeing whatever it is you're trying to, it's solving a problem. Because a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people are trying to or do manifest specific things. I talk about how I wanted to relocate from New York to down south, and I knew that there was a purpose for me there. Everything that I had on or when I use a tool, the vision boards that my godmother had showed me, how to create a true vision board, and how I saw myself literally living down south, literally doing all the things that I did in business, and everything that I did while I was down south was actually everything that I had on my vision board when it came related to business. But you're right. I literally visualized me going into different rooms, shaking hands with different people, being invited to different situations, meeting certain people that I needed to meet. And it literally did propel me. But then there's the thing is also being put yourself in a position, right? Because you can't just see the people holding your product, right? You gotta, excuse me, you gotta provide the product for the people to hold while you're visualizing. Am I getting that correct?
So for me, it's about visualizing and then feeling the feeling, right?
Mm,
And so that feeling of, and this is just what I found, right? So there's something called, I'm going to give people a book called Miracle Morning. Miracle Morning says that every morning, what they've done is they've analyzed all the greats, and these people have a routine. Everybody who's great has a routine, and that's why I'm on my journey. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But every person that's done something from Oprah to Steve Jobs to Michael Jordan, everybody has a routine. And they broke the routine down into elements. And the acronym for those elements is called SAVERS. The first S is for silence, which is meditation. Tony Robbins, all of these people meditate, right? A is for affirmations, those affirmations, speaking it into existence. B is for visualization, right? E is for exercise. Got to keep your body moving, keeping your mind and your body together. R is for reading. Read at least 10 minutes a day. Got to get new information. And the last S is for scribing, which is journaling, right? And that's what I've been using social media for, is literally, I can show you how to use social media as your journal to waste no days. And that's what my journey is about. So those savers, those elements, a lot of that, people will add gratitude to it. People will add, manifesting the feeling and coming up with the feeling. And that creates a frequency that brings everything that you want in that frequency to you to
mm,
some degree, right? And so I've heard that we don't really have to change our frequency to get what we want. We need to remove the obstacles that are in our way that's making our frequency not that strong. So when we visualize it, we're really just seeing it ourselves in our subconscious, that heightens the frequency that we already have, that heightens the gratitude of already having that thing, and then those things come to you. That's my understanding of it, right? As
okay.
I as I'm not driving a Bentley right now, like I don't do too bad, but I'm not driving a Bentley, but I'm still growing from
Don't
a
be
stand.
hating.
Right, right, right. So I'm still growing. Wait, are you sitting? Don't tell me you got a Bentley. Do you have a Bentley with? For those that think that she's a regular sized person because everybody's screen is so big and she has little headroom at the top. If she was driving a Bentley, it will be a Bentley with a baby seat at the car. But I'm just saying, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all. This is your show. Like, your show. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So, that's what I'm thinking. But if you're really trying to get into that, into the art of manifestation, and
Mhm.
you start reading some of those elements, um, Morning Miracle is a great book to start with.
That's a good tip. That's a good tip. I'm gonna get that book. And where can what is it, at Amazon find?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk about your journey. And that's because I've seen you for the last several years. You have manifested so much. Even being on your radio show, I was on there a couple of times. that is still very prolific today. And it's like when you have created things, they're lasting, they have a lasting impression. You know, I keep telling you that I still feel that you should bring back, because the men need so much help now. And it's so, that's a whole nother talk show. But
No,
you know,
we can
you gotta do whatever you gotta do. And
talk about that briefly. We can talk about that briefly.
okay.
So the thing about Perfect Gentleman, I do want to bring it back, but my creed for Perfect Gentleman was literally the underlining thing that a lot of people don't know, and I'm gonna let the cat out the bag, was to love your wife like Jesus loved the church, right? And for men, love is sacrificial because Jesus sacrificed himself for us, right? And so from that standpoint, um, it was really to not pick up women. It wasn't how to do, it was how to love your wife and be romantic to your wife, be a good husband, father, businessman, stay fit, dress nice. How do you do all of these things? And that's what it was. So the thing that really crushed me was that my wife and I are ending in a divorce, right? And so why give information and it didn't work? And really, I really wanted, I really planned everything around the relationship of my wife and I. Like I took that serious, right? Um, and so, you know, everything that I did from, you know, taking her to the Eiffel Tower, giving her 2 dozen roses every 2 weeks for 27 years, paying the bills, you know, doing all the the work that needed to be done. Let's just put it that way, right? Anything that needed to be done, um, I was game and
Oh my God, I just lost Nolan. He's gonna have to come back in. Guys, listen, this is so good. I'm hoping he's able to get back in. I'm gonna see if I can get him back onto the link, and that's him now. So only my brother would do it. Only your brother will mess with the church's money.
right. So anything that needed to be done, I was willing and ready to do it, right? For the success of our family. And that was a major sacrifice from me. And to not have that payoff is a detrimental blow to a man that felt like he sacrificed everything and was trying his hardest, right? So much so that I was suicidal from the standpoint that I didn't know what to do, and I don't want to set other men up that way. And I feel like we're in a society right now where social media and everybody's in everybody's head, and it's not for the goodness, it's all for the views or for the likes. And like you said earlier, what you see behind the scenes is exactly who I am on social media. I'm not changing not one bit. So I'm not hitting you with this is who he is, and then behind the scenes I'm on some Bow Wow type situation where it's like I'm not really on this jet, I'm really flying coach, right? But that's what I'm posting, right? So I'm not that dude, and so I don't want anybody else to give their all from that standpoint and it end up like mine ended, which we're really good friends right now because we've been friends for a long time, but it's still not the outcome that I was praying, wishing, and working toward, right?
Right.
So that's why I'm not going to be doing Perfect Gentleman. But my journey is not just for men, right? So my journey was how do we implement the habits of greatness, right? And how do we have zero, like no 0 days? And a no 0 day to me is making every day count. Some days we're like, man, I really didn't do what I needed to do today, right? And so it's just like, oh, well, I'll try to get back on it tomorrow. Sometimes it gives you a couple of days to get back up the momentum. Then before you know it, it's the weekend, right? And then people taking the weekend off. I want to live my life like a grasshopper. Hear me out. I feel the simplicity of grasshoppers and grass hopping. They wake up every morning and know that they're going to grasshop. That's it. That's what they know they're going to do, right? We have so many choices and things pulling us this way, pulling us that way. That's why everybody got ADHD. We can't really focus on who we are. And so the problem with focusing on who we are is that if we've not tried all the ingredients to really make that recipe for success, right? And we keep saying we're gonna get to it, we're gonna get to it, we're gonna get to. I keep saying I need to try acupuncture. I keep saying I need to try cryogenics. I need to see how I can implement that into my life to sustain where I am or get me to another level because I am getting older. I made 50 this year, right? And so with this being half my life, I don't want any days just to fall to the wayside. I'm not 22 anymore, where I can be like, I only worked 18 days this month. I don't know what the hell I did those 12 days, right? So what I did was I started my own personal journey, and I did it by using social media. So I'm right now writing the book in as I'm doing it, but this whole journey is going to entail all the apps that I use, the books that I've read, the workout techniques that I'm having, the nutrition, the supplements, all the things that made things easier for me along the way. That how long did it take me to implement this habit? All of those things. Now, I'm doing 365 days. Some people are doing a 60-day journey. Some people are doing a 30-day. Do whatever it is you want to do. It's not a problem. We'll be starting our page. Startyourjourney.life is coming out real soon.
Nice.
And so my goal is to get 1 million people to start their first step on their journey, right? And so each part of the journey is maybe you're doing some finance. I just talked to a lady the other day. Well, I say a lady, a very good friend of mine. Big shout out to Tuesday. As I was talking to you before we got started about college, right? She's a lady I went to college with. And so she said, you know what? I want to do a financial journey. And this is for everybody, but it's going to be like a tribe of people that's really trying to reach their greatness. Gave her a couple of ideas, told her stop eating out as much, right? That means plan your meals. That's a direct link to your nutrition, right? Pay your bills and everything that you can pay off your credit cards so you can get the points that'll pay your credit cards down. That's like a extra little bonus, right? And I forget what the third thing was. It was 3 things. And I'm just coming off the cuff right now. But it's those little things that we start to add before you get to the big thing, right? I feel that we underestimate what we can do over a long period of time, right? With almost compound interest on it to make it a habit. That's why I'm all about habits right now, right? Because you are a collection of your habits, and we overestimate what we can do in a short period of time. Like we want to rearrange this and redo this but we can't keep it up until we can create those habits. And that's what this journey is about. How do we literally create the habits that we want to get you to greatness, and then have a tribe of people or a social media page, a group, or whatever you want to call it, all of these people that's telling you what helped them. Leave all the negativity at the door. If it didn't work for you, great. What works for one doesn't have to work for the other. Again, your own recipe for success, right?
Right. So actually where you want to go and then the steps of how to get there is actually, if you are consistent with those steps, like you have to be committed, like you're doing your 365 days, no days off, right? No days off, 365, focusing on my nutrition, focusing on my mental well-being, my emotional well-being, my physical well-being. And that is manifesting, because people think that you just meditate, right? You just meditate and then that's it. Or when we're doing like the vision board workshop next week in Houston, and people think, okay, I'm just going to put these pictures, these words here, and then that's it, and it's just going to by osmosis that this is going to come to pass. And you're literally creating an environment to be the ultimate person that you want to be, that you see yourself, that you have already visualized, right? And you're taking those necessary steps. So you're saying that in those few minutes, and those few minutes a day, whatever the section of the day is, you're going to be committed to those steps to manifest to the life that you really want to have, whether it's financial, whether it's physical.
Right.
And you have to be consistent. And consistency, that's discipline.
It is. And so this is a journey of self-love, discipline, and accountability. But I'm using social media as accountability, and here's how. So what happens is, and I just want people to realize this, we post and we take social media for granted. We looking at funny videos, it's clapping back at folks, we doing all of this, right? What if we were to use social media as something positive that could truly help us? The reason I did 365 days, because at first I wanted to do 180, I got to a point to where I was like, what if on my last day of my journey, and it's 360, the next day, Facebook is going to say, this is where you were last year. Now, that to see that growth in comparison, if I didn't write nothing down, like journaling every day sometimes is hard for everybody, right? Everybody, you got to build the habit to do that, right? But we post with nothing. What if that was our journal? What the struggles that we had today? That's one, right? Two, using social media, and this is free. I'm not paying. It's not like, and for $9.97, you too can get my book and class on how to manifest like Nolen Davis. Like, it's not that, right? I'm giving you the script right now. The second part to it is, because we post every day, if you know you need to post truly what happened to you that day or what you're trying to do that day, something happens at the end of the day when it's time to post. If you did not do what you were supposed to do and you had all of these things and you just took a lazy day, now we at a crossroads. One or two things happen. If you go left, I can categorize this day as a day of rest. I didn't do nothing. But I still need my rest days. I still need to restore. Those days count. So when I say no days off, it's just in my mind, I categorize that day as a day of rest, not as a day of, oh my God, I still got so much to do. When you still got so much hanging over your head, you never really rest. You never really take that time. So that happens. That's one. And then two, the other part is, what can I do in this last hour to get something out the way, right? So when I talk to these people, like you said, I am who I am, right? So when I talk to these people and I say, man, I just had to rest today, I'm gonna get double time tomorrow. When I sleep much more restful, knowing that tomorrow I'm gonna get it. If I got a couple of hours left and I'm like, oh, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I'm like, what can I do real quick? Let me go on and put my Headway app on and listen to a book for 15 minutes and talk about. I didn't trick off the whole day, right? And so using social media as that, as my accountability partner, because people want accountability partners, right? But everybody is dealing with their own thing. Like, so for example, my mother-in-law right now just got thank God, had a successful lung transplant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's extra on me trying to do my own journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I was your accountability partner, as much as I love you as my little sister and this, that, and the third, I don't have the wherewithal to keep you accountable. This way, I'm keeping myself accountable. I'm being truthful to the people that's watching, and you'll be surprised on how many people are watching.
Wow. I believe that this is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm hoping that, my prayer for you is coming in agreement with that 1 million people. I'm one of them 1 million that's definitely going to participate. Because there's some things that I need to tighten up too. Even with me doing whatever I'm doing, I can do an adjustment. There can be some adjustments. And Again, I'm glad that you were able to come out. I'm glad that you were able to talk about that, because hopefully someone who's interested can reach out to you and see how they can be part of this dynamic that you're doing for their own personal journey, and you can help them walk through this on the necessary steps, because I know I'm going to need help. You already know that. So how can people get in contact with you, Nolen, about this particular situation, or even just for Up Social, anything that you have? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, I'm a real personable person, so you can text me at 832-317-8359. You also can email me. You spell my name Nolen at upsocialnetwork.com, right? Um, in the next couple of weeks before January is out, we should have some stuff up with startyourjourney.life. And I want to just say something really fast. It doesn't, most people are thinking it has to be a big thing, right? I want you to simplify it, right? I want you to think about fundamentals. We're going to start with a layup. We may want to jump from the free throw line, but we got to start with a layup. Nobody starts jumping from the free throw line, right? So we want to complete, creating the habits little by little, and then putting habits on top of those habits, right? We don't want to do a whole lot at once. I'm just trying to figure out also what time of day is best, right? So working out for me is better at night than it is in the morning. And I'm struggling working out in the morning, but when you're on your journey, it's not about, oh, I got to do this. It's about going with the flow of you in your life, and how do I implement that? What's the best time of day to do it, right? What's the best mindset for me to be in? Do I need to do it before my coffee or after my coffee, right? Try it during this journey time and see what happens.
I like that. So this is going to be the end of our segment for this one, Nolen. I'm going to come and definitely we're going to talk more about it, because I want us to do a collaboration. We know that collaboration is the it thing for this year. We got to work together as a team. This is Christina L. Turner, Kingmaker. I wish that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope this benefited you. And if you know someone who can benefit this, please share, please like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Business Talk with Christina. Nolen, I love you. Thank you.
Boom.